So today I figured I'd take you along while I upgrade my Proxmox server, and also I have a little bit of an update at the end. So, I had a hard time finding my thermal paste today. I put it somewhere weird, I guess. So, I already unscrewed the screw. We're going to see if I need a screwdriver, which I do. So, I will be back. Alright, I'm back with two screwdrivers actually, because I wasn't sure what size, but I think this one's going to be good. So I'll just go ahead and unscrew it. Screw the heatsink. Alright, I've got it unscrewed. So now I just gotta take the old CPU out. Just lift up the arm. Pull this out. So there's the old one. And here I've got the new one. I'm upgrading to a Q5500, I think. So this old one was a 2-core processor, and this is a 4-core. So fingers crossed it'll be faster. But so I told you that this is a Proxmox server, so more cores will let me do more virtual machines, which will let me test more operating systems at once. So now we just gotta stick this in the right way. You just gotta line it up like that, and then stick some thermal paste on there, along with the extra stuff that I gooped over. Probably should have done that after I clamped it down, but you live, you learn. Alright, so ideally you would probably clean this off, but I'm not going to do that. So just gonna stick this back on. So now I'm just going to screw it back in. Alright, it's screwed back in. And now I'll close this up and we're going to go put it in the server room. Alright, we'll be back when we get to the server room. Sorry about it being loud in here. I probably told you this before, but the Minecraft server runs full blast all the time, the fans. So, we gotta hook this up. So, we've got an Ethernet cable and the power cable for it. So, just gotta... I normally just have this switch sitting on here. So, we plug the Ethernet in. There we go. And now we plug the power in. I'm not sure if this is set to power on as soon as I plug it in or what. We're gonna see. Okay. The light went green. Let's see, is it starting to boot up? I think it's starting to boot up. Oh, no. I guess it just turns on briefly. So we first have to turn it on. Press the button up here. Okay, now it's booting up. Set the switch in a better position. There we go. So now I'll cut here and go to a wider shot of the room here. We have a bit of an adventure here. If I turn it on, let's see, wait. CPU fan has failed. I didn't quite catch it in time. But it says CPU fan has failed, so I might have just forgot to plug the CPU fan header back in. I am going to pause and come back when I fix that. The CPU fan was unplugged, so now we're going to boot it up. Yeah, you can see there I only have 4 gigs of memory installed. I don't know if it's focused correctly or not, but I only have 4 gigabytes of memory installed, so ideally I would have 8 or more, but this only supports 8, so that's the highest I can go, and that's the same thing with the Minecraft server, can only do 8 also. It appears it's taking forever to load, so I am going to try restarting it. A hard shutdown's never a good idea, but basically had no choice because it wouldn't let me into a virtual console or anything to let me properly shut it down. But it looks like it detects the CPU, which is good. We're gonna make sure. Alright, it's actually saying something. I don't know what's going on. It says dev SDB. Can't find it. But if it booted, should be able to find it. Just an odd error, I guess. Alright, so that means we should be up and ready to go. Now I'm going to cut to the wider shot again, and we'll kind of explain my setup here. Alright, so here's my setup here. So you can see I have moved all of my servers into a separate room, not underneath my desk anymore, because the Minecraft server, as I said before, the fans in it always run at full blast, as you can hear. So, also, since then, I got that, like, enterprise quality switch, I guess. It's a 10-100 switch, so it can only do 100 megabits per second, which is fine for, you know, just getting to the internet, but if you want to transfer files faster between your local area network. It's just as fast as normal internet, so it's not going to be 1 gigabit speed, even though I think both of the servers have a gigabit Ethernet adapter in them. So I have run a, you can see the cable up there, that goes all the way to my desk, just because that is where we ran the Ethernet cable down originally to the basement. So that is running all the way from my desk to here, and it goes through a 1 gigabit switch on its way to the router. So on the top, on the top shelf there, I have the Minecraft server, and a monitor I can switch between the two. And I have a keyboard there. That is a serial adapter over there. It's a USB to serial. I used to use it to manage the Minecraft server when it was under my desk, but I don't really have too much of a use for it now. You might have seen it earlier. It's kind of hard to see, but I have an old laptop, an old broken laptop on the top shelf too. I wanted to make that into a server, but it falls asleep, and also the power adapter for it is broken too, which doesn't help. And then you can see there on the middle shelf, I got the switch and the Proxmox server, and then on the bottom shelf I have a power strip. And some things have changed with what I run on the servers. So obviously the Minecraft server still runs Minecraft, but I run a website for the actual Minecraft server, like branding, and then I also have, run off the same server, my own personal website, which you can check it out at alexkinch.xyz. And I have an article up there that talks about how to set up your own website if you want to. Another note you might be able to see there in the corner is a box of Ethernet cable. I originally bought that to run from my router in the living room upstairs to my bedroom, but it really didn't work out that well. You gotta jump through a whole bunch of hoops to get to my room from the router downstairs if you're going through the attic. So, let's see here, what else? I have a Nextcloud instance running on the Minecraft server now. So, you might be able to see here, I got my notes that I'm accessing through the Nextcloud instance. It's kind of like a Google Drive, but it's you run it on your own server, obviously. And then, let's see here. I had FreeNAS running on the Proxmox server. I'm still running the Debian server, which has a VPN, and now I'm also running a Discord bot off of it, which, since I just restarted that doesn't start automatically. I need to start that again. I haven't really been using the Proxmox server regularly. It kind of just runs in the background and it does what I need it to do. But just recently, like I said, I had FreeNAS running on here, and I switched that virtual machine over to Windows Server 2012 just to mess around with it, because I don't really use the FreeNAS. I still have the files for the FreeNAS still on here, just in case I needed to start it back up. I did put some stuff on it, but nothing really important. So, yeah, it runs Windows Server 2012, and I've got some services running on it. I have a website, which you can look at testing.alexkinch.xyz if you want to check that out. It has Windows deployment services on it too. So I can deploy Windows over the network, which is pretty cool. I am very new to Windows Server. I don't really know too much about it. So I've been messing around with that lately. I also got Active Directory working on it too. Although I really don't know much about Active Directory yet. So let's see here. What else do I got in my notes? Oh, I got a TeamSpeak server running on, I think it's on the Minecraft server. I'm fairly sure. We wanted to do like some special thing with walkie-talkies and Arma, which worked out pretty well, if I do say so myself. You might be able to see down there I also brought out another power strip, just in case, you know, I wouldn't be able to handle the new CPU. I didn't think it would change anything, but it works completely fine with the existing one. But I might want to switch that out, because that's a very small power strip, and that one can do like almost 2,000 watts, I think. So that might be useful in the future when I get more computers in here, more servers. But that's probably not going to happen too soon. I probably mentioned this before in my other videos about the Minecraft server, which you can probably check out up there, and also the Proxmox server, which you can also probably find up there somewhere. But I probably mentioned this. They are, this is basically the cheapest home lab setup you can get, because the Minecraft server I got for free. I just had to change the capacitors on it because they had blown, and I just upgraded the CPU in it, so it's 4 cores. I did that for both of these. I did that for this one today too, as you saw earlier. So basically, I think it was like $30 for the CPU maybe, and then I got a set of 8 GB of DDR2 RAM for that, which was like, I don't know, 20 bucks. And then down here, I still have to change out the RAM, but the CPU was like 20 bucks. So like, and I'm not into this very far. It's, what, like 60 bucks, 70 bucks? The Ethernet cable, I probably wouldn't count that because you can get, you know, cheap Ethernet cables to run around the house if you want to. The switch I got for free from my dad's friend, so that was free, and pretty much everything here is free. So if you've got friends with old computers, anyone with old computers that they're wanting to get away, throw away, both of these are old computers that people did not want anymore. So getting into this is not too hard. If you need any of these services, it's, as you can see, it's cheap to get into it. You can, you know, get higher quality gear, but I don't need any much higher quality gear. It'd be nice to have more cores on the Proxmox server to run more stuff, but you know, I don't need that as of now. That'll come later if I ever find anyone that is throwing away like a 8-core computer, which that'll be pretty far off, because 8 cores is pretty much the normal computer right now if you've got a gaming computer. 4 cores is okay for pretty much any other kind of computer. So that'll be far off, but I hope to upgrade at some point in the future. Alright, I think that's about it. I think I've rambled on long enough. So with that, I'll see ya. Alex out.